How's it going, everybody? We got 8 people in the Zoom room and 21 people in the Facebook crowd. Welcome, everybody. And I just want to say, if these shows resonate with you, please share. Looks like we have a little bit of a lag. That's interesting. Please share so we can stay above these algorithms. And if these shows really resonate with you, please consider supporting us with a contribution. We put a comment up after every show so we can keep doing this. We've got, I think, 60 shows, probably 50, 60 shows lined up, 60 shows or more lined up between now and the end of March, which is how long we're going to have the internet. So let's get Alexandra. We've had her up here before one other time. We had a great show with her before. Let's see what's happening over in her end of the world uh, in this transition that we're going through called Ascension. Let's see. There you are. Let me unmute you. Wait. Wait. There you go. How's it going?
Yes. Okay.
Yes. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I really,
nice
I really enjoyed talking with you last time.
Thank you
And,
very much. Yeah.
I see you brought
Thank
your
you.
family. You brought your family with you. You brought your
Yes.
So, my first question is, what in the Zoom room you have you have an image. What is that image? You know what I'm talking about?
The red one.
No, it was a blue image with a kind of a sacred geometry.
Oh, I have it also here in my house.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
is it? What is that? Is it something you just downloaded, or is it a specific geometry?
It's both. It's someone that I downloaded it. I can share it to you if you want.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. That's yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
That looks.
This
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I think it was one of the images. What is that? That's incredible. What is that?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see myself in the
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
You
For
don't see.
me, this thing is like a portal to the cosmic galactic families. And this one, I made it for myself. It was to feel the connection through this painting to these light codes with my galactic families. I work a lot with Arcturians,
Yeah.
and for me, this I don't want to say like painting is like more like a portal,
A portal.
and yes, and it's a life being for me. All my draws, my transmissions with my codes, can you see also back
Yeah.
of me that are like babies, like little portals that help me in different things and connect me to different beings or frequencies. For example, I have one that connect me to the cosmic heart. This one, the blue one, is just to connect with when I want it with the galactic beings. How I do that is like I just start to talk with the painting, with the transmission. The light codes that are in this transmission are like imprints, like forms or um, forms of wisdom or knowledge that are coming from the source, from the spirit, and are in alignment with my frequencies. And they are also here to expand all around the world with new words of new creation.
Wow.
And for me, this is maybe everybody heard about this, the light language, that is the language of heart. And everybody all around the world has his own language, his own frequencies, his own, I don't know, imprint.
Yeah. like
say.
signature.
Yes,
Yeah, a lot
yes,
of people
yes.
use that term. So essentially, you download the information, which then you're able to, or the code, or the data, or the energy, or the consciousness, and then you're able to um, transfer that to images such as what's behind you on the wall.
Yeah, it's like when I start, I feel it's like a call inside of me that I want to do something, and I start to drawing, to paint, or also on hands of people and everything like that, and they just come. I don't have like a knowledge of sacred geometry, or I don't have like um, a design that I have to put it on the paper. It's just coming
Yeah.
when I'm in a meditation or in a state of open openness of my heart. I have a
Yeah.
little emotions
You
because
do.
it's the second time when I speak in English in front of people, and yeah,
I
for
didn't
me
know
it's like
that.
wow.
So we were the first time and the second time. That's an honor.
Yes.
Well, I think you speak very well. I forgot, what country do you live in? What
I'm
country are
from
you in?
Romania,
You're
Bucharest.
okay. You're in Bucharest.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And
Yes.
so, I got a mess. Well, you know what? It wasn't a message. There's a lady that I had seen on one of the shows the other day. We had an
Yes.
open mic where we just invited people on,
Yes.
and I had seen her around for a long time, and I said, hey, you always got like really good stuff to say. Why don't you come on? And she said she had just landed at the airport and she couldn't, but she was watching the show. So today I saw her, on Facebook, and then I went to messages, and we had messaged, um, like last year, and tried to do a show, and it just never worked, probably my fault. But what I'm getting at is that she said, I'd like to come on. And I asked her to, but I haven't heard from her. But she said, I'd like to come on and talk about galactic history and the
Okay.
Galactic Wars, which I had downloaded for a couple of years, the Galactic Wars, or the Galactic
Mhm.
Conflict. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting subject, because some of these people really have a connection to the galactic. I think you're like that.
Yeah.
How do you see that whole thing? You said you're very connected to the Arcturians. Do you interact? Do you communicate with more than just the Arcturians? Are there other star families that you connect with?
I started to connect with the Arturians. It's like, for me, how I see them, it's in a group of three, like beings, frequencies that are coming when I start channeling or doing light language. And sometimes I speak with the consciousness of Sirius,
Mm.
or I speak with the consciousness of Andromeda. It's for me in the last 2 years, especially in the last year, these things a little bit have changed. It's more important for me to be connected only to the source of
Hmm.
this everything that it is, and to have this, to considerate this aspects like Arcturian series,
Yes.
Andromeda, yes,
Yeah,
like
that makes
my
sense.
own aspect, and to
Yeah, that
take my, yeah, uh, sorry.
no, I said that makes sense. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you. Go ahead.
yeah. And it's like I want to take my to be in my own power and to transmit the message through my being, and not to say all the time that now I
Yeah, yeah,
channeling, I speak in the name of the Arturians or whatever. And for me these things started change. And sometimes, but I also speak, and I feel the energy of Mary Magdalene and Jesus, like I said
yeah,
also the last time.
yeah.
But it's like I feel all them inside my heart, and from my heart they are coming with this through everybody.
Yeah.
What about these conflicts that you said with wars and
No, no, this was well. This goes back. We can get into that in a minute.
yeah,
Yeah, but I want because the stories don't matter anymore anyway. But
yes,
I just thought it was interesting, and I know that as I go through my day, like all of us, there's no coincidences. So I look for, okay, why is that? Why did I see that today? And now she's coming on, and then it just popped in my head. But maybe this is where it goes. So there's certainly many people, especially women, female incarnations, for whatever reason, that have been connecting for a long time. Many of
Mhm.
them aren't public about it. Some are starting to come out now. We encourage anyone that meets that description, man or woman, if they'd like to come out for the first time, this is a platform that supports that. But what I was getting at is, so, and even in my own case, in my own case, 9 years ago, it was Jesus and Magdalene and Archangel Michael. I didn't have any galactics until I met my wife, who was a ET. And then the ET started coming in.
A
I'm just kidding.
lovely idea.
Right. But anyway, so what I was getting at is, they certainly were, at that stage of our awakening, seemed external, like we know everything's one, but they seemed like they were outside of us. And I love what you said, because so many people, especially the last few months, when I've asked them, they basically say what you're saying, and that is, I no longer really speak to the groups or to the different consciousnesses or complexes. I'm speaking to an aspect of myself. And so I'm in the same boat. And it's funny because I'll lay down, with Morgan, and then we connect, and sometimes lately I'll lay down and go, who am I talking to? And I feel like, this is silly. I'm talking to myself, but so knowing that, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. The other thing is, like, for instance, I think 2 nights ago, we were watching a program, and then she kind of got some information. She turned the program off and said, I got something just came in, I got to tell you. And then I started getting tones, and I looked over to my left, and I saw three groups. I saw a group that was kind of a whitish gold. It was a group of beings, like, say, 12. And then I looked to the next one, and they were green. And then the next ones were blue. And I said, okay, why are you here? And so on. But what I'm trying to say is, even though I know that all of these are aspects of me, these things are still occurring where it seems like they're outside of you, but it's really, I would feel that it's really me talking to me at some level, for sure. But do you still get surprises or visits, or communications that seem like they're coming from outside of yourself?
All the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The first stage is like we see these beings outside of us, and by time, when we go inside of us more deeply, we start to see that beings inside of us, and we can connect and be aware of our multidimensional levels inside of us. I have like, for me, this year, for example, I started very in like very peaceful, but in like I felt a lot of sadness this beginning of this year.
Mm,
And sometimes at the beginning of the year, I feel like a little bit disconnected from myself, and I have to take my time just for myself.
yes.
And for example, after 1 month staying just with me, these beings comes to me like I don't I don't want to give them a name, but I felt like someone started to being with me all around and all day in a new frequencies that I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want to enter in my mind to know what frequencies is. I feel peace, I feel excitement, I feel equanimity, I feel everything inside of me like is in harmony with me.
Yeah.
And when I feel this, for me it's okay, it's perfect like this. I don't
Yeah.
want to yeah, to be outside of me.
Yeah.
um I've sometimes when I'm in nature, I can start seeing beings like next to me, like
Yeah.
beings of the forest or
Yes.
beings of the sacred spaces.
Yeah.
But how I said in the last year, I didn't want to name them.
Yes. No, I
It's
get that.
just
Yeah.
me to do that, because my mind or our heart is starting giving our power to these things.
Yes.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and for example, this year it's a huge um, transformative time for us, like collective, globally, like in our heart, in our thymus, for
Yes.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for not being confident about your English, you use a lot of big words. That's very
Yeah.
good. Your vocabulary is very good. So, and that, I guess that's what's intriguing and interesting too. And I love what you said about, it's almost like you don't have to understand. You just sit with that consciousness or that energy that presents itself, retaining your sovereignty, retaining your, your own field, whether it's, whatever it is that's coming. But it's interesting because, like, and I think you're basically experiencing the same thing. I can relate to it, is, so you know that everything's an aspect of you that's
Yes.
presenting itself, but at
Yes.
the same time, like even last night when I lay down last night and I went deep last night, I'm just starting to have like a memory of it. Um, I was very aware, and I have been for 8 or 9 years, but at a higher level, that there's a team, that there's a family with me, that there's an army with me, and
Oh,
uh, and so I don't really, I just think it's interesting. I don't really get caught up in, okay, are those all aspects of me? I guess ultimately they are, because you're an aspect of me. Everything is an aspect of me, but it's interesting how much more presence I'm feeling, especially over the last few weeks, of this family, of this
mhm.
team that's in the etherics and the non-physical, and especially being with Morgan, because then there's two teams that are really one team, and it's like, it's interesting, and so I sit there and I go, okay, it feels like they're separate, but I know everything's me. But then I guess at the same time, kind of where I've gone to it is, well, anything that I meet, whether it's physical or non-physical, I mean, what's the difference between meeting these three groups that appeared versus meeting you or looking at you? I mean, that you're still an aspect of me and I'm an aspect of you, and they are the same to me. To me, they're bringing information. I guess
Mhm.
is where I'd leave that. And now what kind of role? Because I know you talked about this last time, but the divine union template or the divine union codes seem to be taking on more and more and more of a presence on the earth. What kind of information and what kind of anything that you think is important in terms of your connection with Jesus and Magdalene?
Okay. Um, today I started to think what will I will say tonight because it didn't say to prepare, and I said, okay, I will see. And all day I stood with myself, and it was a message about the consciousness of the heart.
Mm,
And also I will want at the moment to have like a transmission for
yes.
everybody with this energy that is coming for us. What I feel about this energy, sweet Mary Magdalene and Jesus, is like for the past few years, a lot of women started to wake up, to go back to their femininity. But for me, also in the last year, it was a new way to go inside that I didn't know that it exists. And I feel like Mary Magdalene, or the frequencies, the consciousness that is inside of everybody, not just me or you, uh, it's about how to heal ourselves, how to accept ourselves, and how to bring love to us. And for me, these frequencies, this vibration are coming to learn us how to nurture ourselves. This starting of this new decade, when we are starting to work together, we cannot work alone anymore. It's like we need to come in communities, we need to come in groups, we need to gather our consciousness, our thoughts, our wisdom. And also this energy is coming to us to wake up in a way that we need to take our responsibility for our life, for our choices. And for me, Mary Magdalene came with presence, with devotion, with going and accepting my fears, my doubts, my inner things that I didn't want to see them. And the energy of Jesus, the energy of masculine coming to in my life right now, like to yes, to take responsibility for my own life, for my own decisions. And for me, the femininity that has grown all around the world, it's a little bit, for the start, is like, okay, we need to go inside to see what is the meaning, or our femininity, our women, our power, our abilities that we didn't saw, that we didn't feel. And also it's about feeling. That's why I channel light language. I thought one day why I do this and what I don't do anything else, because light language connects me to the feeling, to my body, to my to help me to anchoring the light codes, the vibrations, that the galactic things, the galactic cosmic aspect in my body. I'm here on earth to anchor these frequencies through my body. And also the presence of Jesus for me is like helping me to be in action with my life, to be here on earth anchoring these frequencies of light, of tenderness, of compassion, of humanity, of forgiveness.
Yes.
And it's a simple message, but I start to understand that the simple things that we are uh, sometimes we are lose them or miss them because we want to go in huge other aspects.
Yeah.
And for me, like now with you, and thank you for this opportunity, is I want to share a simple message to everybody. Like these frequencies are coming in our body just to learn how to be consciousness, how to be tenderness, in tenderness with ourselves, and how to open our heart to us. It's very important to open our heart to us. For me, in the past 2 months, I am in a huge process of opening my heart. Is something that I never felt it before. It's a huge transformation. It's new frequencies that are coming, and new, like I start now to learn how to feel. It's amazing. And also in all this process that everybody's passing by this month, last month, and we will have like a huge transition also in the past, in the next few months, is like the energy of nurturing of Mary Magdalene and the presence of her will start helping us to learn these things.
Yeah, I love what you said too, because there are no coincidences. Because the heart thing, it has been coming in the
Yes.
last few weeks. Well, let's just say this year. One of the things I notice at night when we lay down and we connect is over the last few weeks, a lot of times, most of the time, when uh, the merging occurs, and the information is coming into the body, right? I It used to be like maybe coming in through the root and the sacral and up through the chakras, and a lot of times now it's coming right into the heart. It's like the heart. I can feel the heart expanding and exploding. But I love what you said about the Magdalene energies bringing the feeling, because the feeling is really been, and maybe because I'm a man, I don't know, but it's been a really big deal as more, and I'm talking about feelings like what the body's saying, even to some degree emotions. But there's a different kind of power in the old masculine in terms of how you exerted your power. And I can see where the feminine feeling aspect is a much greater power. It's more instinctive and intuitive. And then I love what you say too about then the Jesus energy coming in, or that's opening up in us, which is an action that's married to that feeling, so that your manifestations and creations are made from that balance with the feminine feeling and intuition, and instinct, with this powerful masculine action oriented kind of energy. So I think, yeah, I can relate to that. Now you said that you went into, and a lot of people have talked about being in solitude um, this year, and I guess processing or expanding in their own space. What you said that you did that for like a month, and I know you've got some connections that you just talked about, but what did that do for you? What were you like at the beginning of that 30 days? And then after you spent that time alone, what type of transformations and what type of expansion did you have?
Okay. At the beginning, I was in like I felt like very calm and peaceful, but sometime inside of me said to myself that I need to go to be like just by myself, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what we will come after this. I had first like for the last 6 months, I do a Kundalini process like every week with myself, and this process also bring to me a lot of transformations. And I had a huge activation in December inside of me, and after that I felt like 2 weeks, I think, yes, 2 weeks I stood in by myself at home, and I felt it like a lot of peace,
Peace.
calm, equanimity, silence of everything, silence in my heart, in my head, silence in my heart. And I didn't know what will happen to me. And I said to myself, okay, I need to go to stay in the nature. And I didn't want to read anything. I didn't want to hear anything. I didn't do anything, I was like
Right.
very lazy, but I was very aware of my body.
Yeah.
I did a lot of things to my body, like like massage, like a lot of dancing, and like simple things. I was very aware of my diet. I did like fasting in that period, and I felt like I need to recalibrate all my being for these new frequencies that are coming. And after the first 2 or 3 weeks, I started to feel a lot of sadness
Yeah.
and a lot of pain inside my body, inside my heart, that I was not very aware of. And it
Do you,
was
do you feel like it was and I know everything that we do is
Mhm.
has a certain element that is just for us. But I mean, do you
Yes.
feel like that what you were experiencing, do you feel like that it had a lot to do with the collective or a little bit or none at all?
Uh, yes, it was also with collective, but I wanted to choose for myself, not
Yeah.
to do nothing for the collective in that period of time. I choose
Yeah.
myself in that moment, and I choose my family, like my ancestors. For
Mm,
me, it was a lot to work with in that period of time, and I said to myself, I do all the time this kind of work for the others, for the collective globally, but I don't go very deep inside of me. And for me, it was a time just for me and my family. And after that, all the things that I started to bring them to heal the pain, to heal the energy that are coming outside from my body, I felt them a lot, like connected to other pains of other persons,
mm,
because at the moment a lot of persons, family started to call me, what are you doing in this time, because I feel this, I feel that, I feel that I want to cry, I feel that I have to come to you, I feel that I am very light, like easy inside, and I feel that you are doing something, what are you doing? But I wanted to choose, because here at my home a lot of people are very focused on collective,
mm.
everybody's focused on this, but for me to be able to download, to help, to be very focused on the purity of what I transmit to the others, I
Mm.
need to work first with myself.
Do you feel like that
And
do you feel like that I think you kind of said this a minute ago. I just want to
yeah,
ask you again. Do you feel like that basically, you are preparing or further transforming the physical body so that it can take on these
yeah,
higher frequencies and codes?
yes,
And and
exactly.
and do
Hmm.
you and do you and over the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, quite a few women in particular were talking about the physical things they were feeling, such as headaches, such as nausea, different pains, joint pain, muscular pain. And there was some talk about that the feminine body itself is kind of like, I don't know, kind of like leading the way in establishing the path, transformation through their physical body being cleared out, like these areas of the heart that you're talking about that you didn't know about, so that we all can take on more information. Did you receive any intel like that, or you were really
Yes.
just into yourself? Oh, you did. Okay.
Now also this, yeah, it's like I need to upgrade my body to be able to let the upgrade, the energetical upgrade coming, anchoring in my body and also anchoring in the earth. And as you know, we talk about taking our body in other dimensions, or we want to ascension, to yes, to have this ascension, but we need also to ascend with our body. This is meaning that we need to take this body from the 3D beliefs and food
Mm,
experience to to move it in the fourth or fifth
dimension. Yeah.
dimension. And I did this everything for my body to help me to anchor the new frequencies. I was my guides, my spirit told me that you need to do this because after that a huge upgrade will come to you. I said at the beginning that sometimes at the beginning of the year I feel to go inside of me because in the month of February, April, every year I receive new updates in my frequencies, in my light language, in my connection with my connection with galactic world.
Hmm.
And this also happened right now. My light language have changed also, and everything in the body, because I think everybody's has a lot of things in the body, like nausea, headaches, and
Hmm.
I heard about through my clients. I have a lot of person that have problems with thymus.
Oh, with the
The
higher heart, the higher heart.
Yes, yes, and
Now,
also
are most of your clients? I'm just curious. Are most of them women?
not really.
Not
I
really.
have
Okay.
yes, yes. It's, I think it's like no, I have like half and a half right now.
That's a
Yes,
good
it's
sign. That's a good
great.
sign. Let me
Yes.
ask you. Yeah, I love what you're saying, and I really resonate and align with what you're talking about with the physical body.
Mhm,
And we've received information like that too,
mhm,
which was basically that all the other bodies, through the work that
mhm,
some people have done here, you can call them first wavers or star seeds or whatever, that the other bodies are pretty much in alignment and cleared out. Now the
yes.
physical body is the last body to align. How would you how would you recommend, because you made a couple of comments there about what you're eating, and then something else, and I can't remember. That's why I wanted to ask you this. But what recommendations, what would you tell people, uh you know how can we clear out the physical body at this point? Because one thing we have learned, especially in 2020, is that many of the things that we used to do, even that woke us up and processes that helped us expand, don't even work anymore. Like everything is so new that, like you said, you just get guided in the moment. But what would you recommend to people, from your experience, on how to clear the body so that it can accept more of this higher frequency?
Okay, for me first is like take your time, take the time for yourself, because everybody are very stressed also, and they say that don't have time for themselves. And for me, this is the first step, that you have to take time for yourself.
Yeah.
And after that you have to start uh, be more careful with what you eat. For me, till this year I didn't do fasting at all,
Hmm.
and this year it was like, okay, it's a new beginning also for my body. My body told me what to do. My
how long
body,
how long did you fast?
like 1 week I
A
did
whole
this at the beginning of this week I did 2 days without food.
So are you,
And
when you fast, are you just drinking water only? Or are you drinking
yes,
any,
yes.
just water, no
Yeah,
tea or
because
any?
I don't know, I didn't search a lot. I recommend you to everybody to find someone to help him to do the fasting.
Okay.
Now I started to speak with someone about this because I
Hmm.
want to go deeper, and then I don't know exactly what to do.
But your
But my
but your body is actually, people have talked about how the body's voice is getting louder, but at
Yes,
the but at the ultimately, you're following the guidance of all of your aspects. But in this case, uh the body, primarily the body, is telling you what you need to do. Is that what you're saying?
yes. Yes, for me, this ascension, it's not working if you work just energetically or just
Mm-hmm.
mentally or just with your body. It's a cumul of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said take your time for yourself, for me, the meaning of this time is to start to listening your body, to start listening your intuition, listening to your inner voice that is telling you, please forgive me, please give me more attention, please, I want to sleep today, all day,
Mm-hmm.
I want to sleep. People that doesn't pay attention to these things. And the body, if you start talk with the body, he will tell you what to eat, what to
Yeah.
drink,
Yeah.
how
True.
to. For example, today I wanted just to drink water. Also, I don't feel to eat at all, and but I I I don't. I'm not like crazy. I'm very careful with my body.
Yeah.
I also recommend a lot of movement because energies are very huge and our body is not um, um, how to say.
Well, it's now I've heard this before and very recently, and that is that the body isn't big enough to hold everything, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And
Yeah.
so people talk about movement, and
Yeah,
then
I
else,
like to dance, to do
yeah.
massage. I start doing massage like once a week or twice a week because this is like helping me to be in surrender
Mm-hmm.
and to listen more my body, to listen what my body tells me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I also go to workshops, to therapies, like I am the client. And for example, 2 weeks ago, my the woman that gave me the massage just put me the hands on my heart, and in that moment I started crying because my being, my inner child started to say, oh Alexandra, you need to be here with me, you need to forgive yourself. And
Mm.
I share this, I'm very vulnerable with this, and I share that because I'm like everybody, and I feel like everybody needs to have someone with presence and to offer him nurturing, tenderness,
Mm.
compassion to help me.
That's a
Yes,
powerful
to
thing
help
what you just
him to open. We
yeah.
need others to
Yeah.
help us to open our body.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
it's a inner and in solitude process, but we also need the others. We need, yeah, we need people. We
I
need to
can
bring.
yeah, I can feel that. In fact, I've been thinking a couple over the last 2, 3, 4 days, something that's, you know, that's very similar to that. And I'm glad you explained that. I don't want to run out of time, and
Yeah,
we would love for you to do a transmission with your new light language, and
yes.
or whatever you want to do. But I wanted to ask you because somebody did ask earlier. Karen asked, what kind of I think that's an Andara crystal, the second one. But what kind of crystals are those? And what do they mean to you? What's your relationship with them, and how do you utilize crystals?
Oh, these four babies are Andara.
Hmm.
I am very connected to Andara crystals. Um, I have them from Lisa. You have
Hmm.
Lisa on your show.
Hmm.
Um, I work with them. I just put them on my body. For me, every single crystal is a life being, like my drawing,
Yeah.
like my transmissions
Yeah.
also. And these andaras are very it helps you with connections, multidimensional connections,
Okay.
and helps you to clear your body, your aura from 3D conditions. It helps you deconditioning your field.
Okay.
And I in the beginning I work a lot with earth crystals, but I don't feel them anymore. It's like sometimes I'm not very connected to earth. And right now with this andara, uh, for me helps me to see the grid of andaras that people has inside of them.
Okay.
I received this thing like some years ago. I didn't know the existence of andara before, and I started to see the like grids inside of people that needs to be activated by themselves, that helps them to go in other dimensions. I
Mm.
started to work with people here in Romania. I don't talk, I think, at all about this. I'm very like secretly
Yes.
things. Yeah, you can work like putting them in, like you. I bring this with me now because they wanted to be here. I asked them, what do you want to do today? And they said, okay, we need to come with you to do that transmission, that you need to do it. And we want to be seen and to be connected with other people, to transmit the energy, and the people to come to us, like to
Yeah.
come to connect with the andara crystals, the grids that are around the earth with this kind of energies.
Beautiful.
They are very loving. This one works also with the priestess and the energy of Mary Magdalene's, and one is with Arthurians. And they brings a lot of clarity, a lot
Mm.
of um, uh, also focus in your life.
Mm.
And for me helps me to be to be grounded.
Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Okay.
And I just want to go over this comment, and then if you want, so we don't run out of
Yes.
time, you can go into the transmission. But Demetrios Roots, uh, he says something that I think people might appreciate. He says, "I'm sleeping more than 8 hours the last 3 or 4 days. I lost the days, to tell you the truth." And to me, this is the more important part. But he says, plus very intense, vivid dreams, and I'm waking up exhausted. This is how I've
Yes.
been waking up, not every single night, but I'd say probably 5 nights in the last week. I wake up very exhausted. The other thing is that I found interesting to do light exercise to my body.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to help. Goes back to what you're talking about, the movement. He talks about doing push-ups and abdominal muscle exercises.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's something that's worth mentioning because I have, been around a few people, and that's what some people are saying is that they're waking up exhausted, which to me is a good sign. I think it's a good sign, and the
Because we
thing,
are working a lot in the night,
yes,
and we need to be very conscious about our sleep, and
yeah,
also uh, to do a sacred space for our place where we sleep. For me, it's very essential to put the intention in my sleep, to be connected to the source
yes,
all my sleep. And I recommend to everybody to do that, to put the intention to be connected to the spirit, to the God, to the source, wherever the
hmm,
source is for them. And to put the intention in the morning to bring them to bring their experience, their feels, their heart parts from the places where they were in the night, and to bring them inside in the morning. We need to bring our consciousness and our presence back to our body here and now. And also I do that. I sometimes I sleep 8 hours, sometimes I sleep 12 hours, and I feel very tired. And I started to ask my guides, to ask the beings of light to help me wherever work I do, wherever I am in my sleep time, to come in my body more regenerate, more with vitality and with calm and peace, and to be able to have to be very grounded in the morning. And when I do that, I am like that, and I'm feeling like, yo, I have a lot of joy. But when I forgot to do that, yes, I feel a little
no, you're
bit.
you're still out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. And then he goes on to talk about how he doesn't remember the specifics of the dreams, but there's a lot of fighting. And I think people have talked about that. I mean, and I've had some of that. But I also have this knowing that what I'm experiencing, you know, in terms of conflict or fighting or you know, that type of frequency or energy, I also know that it's just clearing out. It's just
Oh,
being shown to me how this is being cleared out, so it can make space. You know, I don't feel like it's anything like anything external trying to fight me or anything. But
okay.
you
I will
okay?
remain without battery just a moment.
Okay. So you
Sorry.
could, if you want to, yeah, when you get plugged in, if you want to do the transmission, that's good. So we don't
Yes,
run out of.
yes. I will do something also for this. I hope that you will see me. I
Are
don't,
you gonna?
because
Are
I
you
don't
gonna?
see
Are you gonna do?
myself.
Are you gonna do the dance that you do when you do movement?
Yes, I will do
I'm just.
not a dance, but I
I'm
will do.
kidding.
Yeah.
I say that to everybody when they do that. I'm like, are you gonna dance for us?
Just a moment,
Um,
because sorry for this
no, that's
inconvenience.
okay. It's we can see you fine. You're good. You're
Yeah.
good.
Let's do that. Okay. I want to do like a transmission for everybody that were in the fights at the beginning of Tara, at the beginning of the words, because we are imprinting with this energy, and in this time when the energy are very huge at the times and in our hearts, this imprint of pain, drama, fight, war
Yeah.
are very alive in our body. And I will want to do this, and we will see how long we can stay.
As long as you want to.
Okay. I hope. Okay. Il halkolo elak tele balahakte, inamahake elakoshta sitsinime enekit. Ut hat kenemalaktala, olakiela shtasu sekiela ish. Amahokot at ila alaktore, eshata asekene en am awahaish. At ot hote en mene I het kut inimi aish. Anime helaktola kiela kashtas, isend hap anime elaktor, it enema olaktenimi enashtas soish. Akoni alaktena balahais, ala helakir, ala helakir, ala helakir. Uktiana maktore keshtasin, enemene elakola enash, malakoitais, malakoitais, malakoitais. Hachte hishet hasoha, ishene enema heta kalaish, inamalahola kalabelaish tekais, ambakola kanemianakas, asokoishen enemekela. Amalakoeta ak. Amalakoeta ak. Amalakoeta ak. Enshut at eneme enestas. Usin enestas soko et eneme hetiklaish tekaish. Ahokotua. Ahokotua. It henemikti en aktu eneme heistas. Amahaktua. 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 Ishan hasa say the size. Amahakten enaktoto katetihatat kohaha. Ishta seniat size. Asakoeta stas. Asehedekdosta. Amalakoeta. 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 Ishan hat his. Ishnohoetas. Amshat horakua. Amshat horakua. Imestene yatakuras. Asakuestas. 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 Ishan henemene hiena. Usin hinemene kenat. Ut eneme in en alakoeta size. Ishaneme heitenas. Ishaneme heitenas. Ishat kurat size. Asakoeta. 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 Makai chance. Aka. 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 Okay, and I will want to do one more transmission that is for our hearts, that activate our thymus gland, and that will bring us more inside of us to the authentic self, to the pure presence of us, to be more connected to ourselves, to be more authentic to ourselves, to be more in our truth. Epoko loptata nemetkas, ipoolo ishte sukut o, isot kut huti emesesa, usot kut kate mesesutu, asasini oso kut itsesemadasu, apkot kosuni et sapsai, ot sat kot huenamado sosokoida, amsot kot sot sat semenetsu, itsen amat kot eneme sosokta, etesoi elastasui ishen. Amishiniat Zaish, Amishiniat Zaish, Eat Shenet. Uyamawahaya, Yawahayamawuyam. Ishan hat hat, Ishan hat hat, Ishan hat hat enemaktoet. Ishan hat hat, Ishan hat hat, Ishat kot henebedekaish. Asokweta kalakdesh, Asokweta kalakdesh, Ramahat he, Ramahot kana, Ramahat kate, Ramahot kana, Sasonation eyes, Ises size, Iset haish, Akotha, Akotha, Ishan halekita, Amasansene shent, Amsatsane keshanokua. Amsat sene shet, amsat kore nirshais. Hom harak, harokutuno, arahiat kara, harakaisas, harakini maktaish, malakoeta harukanish. Rahomda, rahoma, rahoma, rahoma. Aka, aka, aka.
Well,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Wow, that was
Please bring drink a lot of water, and for the persons that are feeling a lot of sadness, and how that guy told us on the comments, please, if you feel it, please listen to this transmission like 1 to 3 times, like the language transmissions.
yes.
And you will start feeling more calm and to be more connected to you without the imprints and memories of the past energies bringing in your being. Okay.
Wow, that's super powerful. God, I keep getting all these synchronicities here. This is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, we should have done this. Should have. There's no should haves, right?
Yeah,
Let's
I felt it like to do more this. It's like I feel like to bring more transmission, like for detoxing and what is happening inside of our body right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get together again in a few weeks, and
Yes.
and if you feel that and you haven't heard from us, 2, 3, or 4 weeks or whatever, and you feel like something really needs to be put out there, don't be afraid to contact Morgan.
Okay, thank you.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll definitely reach out to you in a few weeks and do it again.
Yes.
And thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much. Thank
Yeah,
you also.
you're very
Yes.
welcome, and thank you for sharing space with us and honoring us with your presence. It was a beautiful way to start the day. We got 3 more shows today.
Yes, I
Don't
know.
don't, don't ask me who they are, but this was a great way to start the show. And you guys can catch this replay on YouTube if you and you can also find it on my pages. So thank you so much, beloved
Okay, thank you,
sister.
Todd. Have a
You take
nice
care.
night.
You too.
Bye.
I'll see you again soon. You take
Yes,
care.
thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.